Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons and the Dungeons & Dragons Rick and Morty starter set, excuse me. All right, so first and foremost, before we go a step further, we got to talk about that name, right? So technically, the technical name of this product is the Dungeons & Dragons versus Rick and Morty tabletop role-playing game adventure. What? All right, that's weird, right? Is this a starter set? Well, that is a little bit of a complicated question. Technically, by the name of the product, it is not a starter set. It is a tabletop role-playing game adventure. Now, that gets weird because this is a boxed set, right? And generally, boxed sets are starter sets, or they're like advanced play sets, but they contain rules, right? Now, adventures don't generally contain rules, right? So this gets weird right out of the gate. It is getting weird right out of the gate, right? And I'll tell you right now, this is a super, super weird product. Without a doubt, Dungeons & Dragons versus Rick and Morty tabletop role-playing game adventure is the weirdest product ever made for Dungeons & Dragons, without exception. I think there's a lot connected to this, so let's kind of dive into this. So one, the reason why it is titled that, and they will not call it a starter set, is, I think this is my supposition, right? I think the reason for that is this really can't serve as a starter set, right? And the reason why is, if you put a brand new game master into this starter set, it gets really strange for them. Because one, it presents the rules straight, okay? But then it has commentary by Rick Sanchez, who is a drunken nihilist. That's not a tag I'm applying to him. That's exactly what he is, right? Nihilism is a major theme of Rick and Morty that's been identified by Dan Harmon, and nihilism is a major theme in Rick and Morty, right? And it's pure fact that Rick is drunk. He's drunk, right? Like he has an alcohol problem, right? So he is a drunken nihilist, right? So you have a drunken nihilist who is commentating on the straight Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules. But what he's doing is he is firmly grounding and establishing and making canon, right? Because this is a canon product, right? Every single grognard weird idea that you have, right? Dice fudge rolling, fudging dice rolls, god status for dungeon masters, being arbitrarily cruel to players. The list is very, very long, right? Being a dungeon master to get your power fix, because you have power over other players, godlike power. These are things we've been trying to move away from in the hobby, and this product fully supports them in a very strange, weird way, right? This is an incredibly, incredibly strange product, all right? So one of the things that this product does, and I'll tell you right now, I mostly bought this product to witness it, right? Now, my Dungeons & Dragons purchasing is currently at the following rate. One, I will buy every cool rulebook set, MM, PHP, DMG until the day I die, and I'm pretty sure that's what my kids are going to leave on my grave, right? Is the whatever version is left. I'm going to tell them that. No flowers, just put 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th edition onto my grave. Just lay them on there, right? All right, so, but then also, I get starter sets now. I love them. I have purchased the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things starter set. I have purchased the Essentials kit. I have purchased the excuse me, the Dungeons & Dragons Rick and Morty starter set, right? And I'm gonna call it the starter set from going forward, because it is a starter set. By the way, if you don't think it's a starter set, how would you not call it a starter set with the following things? It's got a Dungeon Master screen. It's got a 64-page summary of the rules. It's got a starter set of dice. Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous dice. The dice are a perfect match for the green, light green, dark green, Rick and Morty color scheme from the logo on the show. It's a perfect match. It's really sweet. It looks great. It's got 2 D20s for advantage and disadvantage rolling, and it's got 4 D6 for rolling your stats. That is absolute Zimp Mac awesome. Totally in, love it. Okay, and the dice are The dice are awesome. Before I get too far off, I wanna say this. Get this product. All right, so this is Scott Garibay prediction. This product is not going to get a second print. I really don't think this product is going to get a second print. Here's my thoughts on that. So one, this came in before Kate Welch had really ascended, right? Kate Welch has she was brought in I think in the beginning of 2018 as a Dungeons & Dragons designer. I think from day one she's been groomed to be groom's kind of got a weird connotation to it. She was positioned to be the lead design on Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition. I think that's a great way to go. I think she's going to be a great lead on Dungeons & Dragons design 6th edition. But she has stated that this came in before her, right? So this wasn't one of her decisions. I don't think Kate Welch would have signed off on this thing. I think it's super weird. And I think, and by the way, and also, there's so many problems with this. So many problems with this product, right? So one, it is super non-woke. Super non-woke, right? But Dungeons & Dragons is about to get super woke in Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition, right? That 6th edition is going to be the most woke version ever, right? And without a doubt, right? Because Kate Welch is super woke, right? So, like, it's a 1, 2, 3 connected dot, right? They also want to attract young new players, right? No better way to do that than make the product super woke, right? So Dungeons & Dragons is going to be super woke, right? 6th edition. But this thing is super non-woke, right? And so it really, like, you're like, what the heck? Why would you send this signal right as you're about to, put woke spice on that D&D entree? It is strange. It is really, really strange. Buy it, right? This is a Scott Garibay piece of advice. Buy this thing, right? And the reason why is, so one, let me explain my purchase position, my purchase experience. So I knew this thing was dropping on the 19th. On the 20th, I went on and I was like, where can I get this? And I thought I was going to be able to get it at Target. I bought my Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things at Target. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait even for Prime, right? I'm like, hey, I want this today, right? Like, but I also like getting that Amazon discount, right? So I went on to Barnes & Noble, but I'm not going to wait. I'm going to, Amazon doesn't have like hard brick and mortar stores. Right, so I went on and I just Googled, say, hey, where can I get this today? And Barnes & Noble came up. Barnes & Noble sold it for me for $19.82. It's got a $29.99 retail. By the way, I think it's totally worth that. It's totally worth that. These box sets are awesome. I absolutely love them. I think any box set that Dungeons & Dragons makes going forward, it's going to be worth $30. I never have a problem with WotC's price points. I think all their products are totally worth it. They're making super high quality product. They're setting the bar for the entire industry. Their product's worth what you pay, right? All right. So I got it for $19.82. I sent it to a Barnes & Noble that was close to me, one near Wilmington, Delaware, and I shot down there and I picked it up. It was super easy. I got $10 off retail, and I was able to pick it up that day, right? And just rubbed it on my face. I was so happy to have it, right? And then I cracked it open last night, and it was, man, it is weird. It is weird. So it is weird that they're not calling this a starter set. They can't call it a starter set because if you connect a brand new player to this thing, they are going to be warped forever. They will have, So here, you got a starter set that will teach people to run Dungeons & Dragons in the style of a drunken nihilist. That is a weird product. That is a super weird product. Hey, want to learn how to run Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition as though you were a drunken nihilist and a complete grognard? Here you go. Man, that's strange. That is so strange. This product is super weird, right? There's things that super alarm me about this product, but also there are some really dope aspects of this product. So one, get this thing, right? I don't know. I do not think it's going to get a second printing. Now, a lot of stuff got stuck. I say everything like I'm right because 95% of the time I am right? I only have a 66% chance feeling on this. I think there's a 2/3 chance this thing will never see a second printing. And the reason why is because it is so freaking weird, right? I don't know if this was a good idea for them to do because, right, basically Wizards of the Coast has been sending this signal saying, hey, get woke or get lost. Like, that has been a very, very prominent message from Todd Krennic, from Mike Merles, from Kate Welch, from Satine Phoenix. They have all said that statement in one way or another, right? With slightly different words, but they've all said that statement. And then they're like, hey, are you a super non-woke, weird grognard who really likes 1974 Dungeons & Dragons? Here's a 5th edition product that champions everything you believe. What the heck? This thing is strange. It is strange. Right. Dice are amazing in this thing. The product itself is really dope, right? From the perspective of quality. Beautiful, beautiful Dungeon Master screen in there. There's a 64-page rule book. I think the adventure's like 64 pages. I haven't even cracked the adventure yet, right? I just looked through the rules last night. This thing is so strange. Oh, one other thing that I want to talk about. It has 5 pre-printed character sheets that you can play. It's from the Rick and Morty. It's by the way, get this. This is nuts, right? It's I think the father's name is Jeremy, right? It's the father, it's the daughter, it's the wife, and it's Rick. No, it's Morty, right? And then there's one other character called Meatface who's in there, but get this. You cannot play Rick. You cannot play Rick, right? Rick is not a playable character in Rick and Morty starter set. That's weird. It's going to upset some people. I thought it surprised me, right? It didn't upset me because really I bought this product as spectacle, right? I think this, and boy, did I get my money's worth. I wanted to see a show, man. I wanted to see, this is Rocky Horror Picture Show, man. This gets weird, right? And it is weird. It is incredibly strange. The Dungeons & Dragons versus Rick and Morty starter set, right? That's my label. The actual label is Tabletop Role-Playing Game Adventure. Is just one of the strangest products I've ever seen. I think the timing of this is very strange. So I think this is going to be a problem if I'm right about Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition, and Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition is in design right now, and we will see it announced in 2020 Gen Con. I think that is when 6th edition will be announced, right? If that's the case, the Rick and Morty, the Dungeons & Dragons Rick and Morty starter set may become super valuable because it allows grognard players to play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with official WotC seal of approval of all their weird non-woke opinions. There's your stamp of approval. Really, really strange, right? The other thing is, I had these ideas before I saw the product, and they are fully enforced by having seen the product, right? The biggest question I have about this thing is, how did it get to the front of the line, right? What the higgity heck, right? Why is this thing... Why does it exist, right? If we're going down this road and we're going to make Dungeons & Dragons plus X starter sets, why on earth? Like, Stranger Things is a very natural fit. It's a very cool fit. It makes sense, right? But Rick and Morty does not make sense. It's a fundamentally non-woke product. It's a fundamentally non-woke IP attached to an IP that is heading toward woke as fast as it can possibly go. Right, it's very, very strange, right? So it is really odd how this got to the front of the line, right? And there's just so many other areas. Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't have, done like a Freeport starter set, like bring in Green Ronin stuff, and or make a starter set that combined with one of their other, like, these partner fantasy tabletop role-playing game companies, or like a horror D&D starter set, or just like a million. There's so many things you could do with D&D starter sets that are unique and special and wonderful. And why we said, what we really need to attach to Dungeons & Dragons? Drunken nihilism. Who made this decision? Like, where did this come from? It is bizarre and weird. I really don't even know where I stand on it. So I really don't like a lot. I don't like that this got pushed to the front of the line. I don't understand what the business decision was on that. The one thing that I have to acknowledge and I have to give a little bit of shine on is it is risky. I like when companies take risk. I like when they don't do the obvious and they take a risk. This is incredibly risky, right? And sometimes, and that's just it. You don't create amazing, awesome opportunities without risk. It just doesn't happen. You got to roll the dice sometimes, and this is a roll of the dice, right? So that is my thoughts on the Dungeons & Dragons Rick and Morty starter set. Starter set. Very, very strange product. But I will say this, like, I spent my $20 and boy was I excited to read this thing, man. And it did not let me down. It's as weird as I suspected it would be. This thing is super, super strange. I spent my $20. I do not, I almost feel like I owe them extra money. It's just, it's really, really unique and weird and special. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion on this product. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.